So let's look at some videos while I do some work. Now, this is a funny one. This is a really funny one. This is called, let me get the title here. So this is from a pretty good channel, China Observer. Go give them a like, give them a follow. You know, for me, if you don't know much about me, if it's your first time here, I like research. I like looking at a lot of things around the world. I like to learn from that. I like to see what's going on. So this was quite interesting. I found this very interesting because it shows how money can be used to manipulate entire continents. All right.
Beijing hosted a half marathon in which He Jie, China's national marathon record holder, won the men's title. However, the legitimacy of his victory quickly came into question. The race began at Tiananmen Square and finished at the Celebration Plaza in the central area of the Olympic Park, featuring both men's and women's half marathon categories. With 20,000 participants and a top prize of 40,000 yuan, which is approximately 5,526 US dollars, the event was highly competitive. He Jie took the championship with a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 44 seconds, but the race was overshadowed by significant controversy. Allegations surfaced that 3 African competitors seemed to escort He Jie during the race. One of these runners reportedly guided her to the direction of the finish line. Another explicitly gestured for him to take a position to his left for an easier finish, and blocked another African runner to let her pass first. In the final 100-meter sprint, these 3 competitors noticeably slowed down, aligning themselves as mere pacers behind her. Ultimately, each finished just 1 second behind her, securing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th places with a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 45 seconds each. Following the race, participants on social media analyzed the pacing of the 4 runners, noting that the 3 African competitors were clearly holding back, showing no intention of winning. They suggested that He Jie, being among them, would have been aware of this special treatment, indicating that the race may have been prearranged. Comments on social media described the event as more of a staged race.
So the black races, the black African races, are from Ethiopia. So Ethiopia did a deal about 10 years ago with China, where they would build a railway station. And this is, this is what I'm putting this on here to show you how China is manipulating these African countries to even throw a race, a freaking race that each one of these competitors will get thousands of dollars, right, in their pocket. So they built a train station, which they didn't really need to spend that money on. But like at that time, China went and said, hey, we'll give you this at a very low rate and stuff, and you'll be able to, you don't have to pay it back right away. This is how loans work, right? And so what happened was basically the whole thing's a dud thing, right? It's like it's worse for them. Their old system would have been way better, and this new thing they built has been ruggedly dumb for the last 10 years, and it's just bad and bad and bad. It's actually slow. It's causing more disturbances than being fast. So whatever this railway station they had built now has put Ethiopia in debt to China, to where the people feel that they need to throw races so that they could keep China off their back. And this is called, like, what is it called? Soft manipulation or something, like soft power. That's what it is, soft power, right? Because a lot of people go in and go, there's hard powers when you use like weapons and stuff and go and try, we're going to overthrow your country and stuff. We see that all the time, right? Well, this is soft power. 4 Ethiopians who are freaking fastest runners in the race, beating everybody else. Now, basically, hey, bro, come on, get in there. We'll just hold back your race. Lost what, 20 grand between them, US dollars. So that's like around about 20, probably about 30 grand, 35 grand. That's US New Zealand. So that's quite a bit of money for these guys to race. Like there's like 25,000 people went to, 2,500 people went to race, right? So, but here's the thing. The Chinese themselves are upset, like the local people, right? They're upset. It's like, what is this? Can our people can't even race in this thing, that they got to get helped along? But they don't understand that their own country has been manipulating Ethiopia, and we'll see other people soon on how they, and this is about soft power, and it's not about anything against China, but I'm talking about like how governments can use people in this sort of, under these sort of rules, right? And so under that sort of government ruling, right, you can have like socialism, you can have like communism, you can have democracy, you can have nationalism, where like you kind of like, I guess, xenophobic about other people, ultra-nationalism, right? But, there's so many ways of fascism, right? Or there's bad and there's good. So this is the soft power way of manipulating the common person who was a runner. That's all his whole life is. These 4 guys have spent all their life training to be a runner, right? And I just clicked in my head, that Chinese guy is basically AI artists, right? And then you've got all these other 4 artists, right? But then you've got all these other people. Sorry, I should say the Chinese guys. Say the Chinese guys are the fake artists, fighters, AI artists, right? And the teacher are the 4 runners are the runners. Are basically people going, go on, you're an artist, go run, So yeah, I just thought
and joked that it would have been better if the 3 of them had simply carried a palanquin to escort He Jie to the finish line. Chairman of Ailong International Cultural Company in Beijing, Ailong cartoon Yu Jian, remarked, the 3 African runners were very cooperative, but they kind of lack acting skills, considering they're not professional actors. As the event was gaining attention, more people in China began to investigate these 3 African runners, who were found to be from Ethiopia and Kenya. Willie Nangat from Kenya admitted that he had intentionally slowed down to let his friend He Jie win the Beijing Half Marathon. However, Nangat later changed his statement, claiming he was He Jie's pacer. Yet, observers noted that his race bib did not label him as an official pacer. Others commented and said sports competitions in China have turned into financial transactions. Hundreds of city marathons across China have become a means for some African athletes to change their lives and family economic status. They earn prize money through competitive performance, and high-level athletes also receive appearance fees through endorsement and gear provided by sports brands. Industry insiders have noted that if a marathon event in China seeks accreditation as an international label race, the organization investment will significantly increase. Budgets for inviting special guests often exceed 1 million yuan for gold label events and 800,000 yuan for silver. In summary, Chinese marathon event organizers and sports equipment brands frequently seek out international athletes, generally through Chinese agents with the right resources and connections, known in the industry as the buyers of African talent. The issue of fraud isn't confined to marathons, but is prevalent across various sports in China. Recently, there have been high-profile cases of gender fraud involving Chinese track athletes Liao Mengxue and Tong Cenghuan, who competed as males in women's track events. Their physical appearance during celebrations and races, along with their interviews, has raised suspicions about their gender. Photos and videos have raised doubts regarding the gender of 2 athletes competing in women's events based on their physical appearance and mannerisms compared to other female competitors. Observations from one athlete's interview further suggest inconsistencies.
但是顺利的完成了一个小目标吧。下一个目标就是争取能在明天的决赛中突围吧，拿到前10的资格吧。
In the interview, the voice is distinctly male, with the person's appearance, physique, and voice all displaying characteristics typical of an adult male. This overt masculinity is under great scrutiny. Despite this, the 2 individuals have not publicly addressed the situation, and what happened after that have only reinforced beliefs that they are indeed male. According to reports, in June 2023, the Chinese Athletics Association conducted strict testosterone tests on female athletes mandated by the World Athletics Association to determine eligibility for competition based on international standards. Following these tests, Liao Mengxue and Tong Cenghuan disappeared from all competitions and were also removed from the 4-meter event rankings by World Athletics. This news further raises suspicions of a possible gender fraud at the time. This is not the first occurrence of fraud in Chinese athletics. In recent years, Chinese billiards players have also tarnished the nation's reputation internationally. Reports indicate that in recent years, a major corruption scandal in professional snooker involved Chinese players Lian Wenbo and Li Xing, who were implicated in match fixing. They were subsequently banned for life by the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association. Additionally, 8 other Chinese players admitted to misconduct and received bans ranging from 20 months to 5 years. Among those implicated, Zhao Xintong, a former British Championship winner ranked 11th globally, received a ban of 1 year and 8 months, while Yan Bingtao, the 2021 Masters champion, was banned for 5 years. These incidents have caused significant embarrassment for China in the international stage. Chairman of the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association, or the WP.
It's kind of it's kind of like sports is all about fairness, right? And that's one thing. It's like it's where you train your body and you push yourself to it, and anything deviating from the truth of who you are, right? And I don't mean like perceived truth or I believe I'm such and such. The actual, like your body, your physicality, your gender, and all that. When it comes to the mat, you're competing with someone just like the same gender, same age group, same weight group, like in boxing, right? You go featherweight and heavyweight and so on, so that you're not actually battling someone who's not, who's weaker than you or stronger than you, because you don't want to be pummeled. And so, to see people cheating, I find it very offensive to the entire rule of sportsmanship.